Greetings, divine radiance. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I'm coughing on my own saliva. How are you doing? How are you doing? So, I'm thinking about doing something a little bit different today. I am thinking about going live on TikTok at the same time. So let's see. Let's get us logged in over there. You guys know how we would do Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So let's see what happens if we do TikTok. This will actually be my first time going live on TikTok. Someone just joined. Who is on? Who's on with me? Let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know. Welcome, welcome. So let's see. I am. Okay. There we go. Oh boy, there's like a process to this. You got to drag a little puzzle piece in order to log in. And once we get logged in on TikTok, we're going to go ahead and start with our breathing. But how are you doing? Now that we're doing the once every month, every first Wednesday, it feels like I haven't seen or spoken to you guys in forever. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started over here. You guys are always so patient. I appreciate you so, so much. Okay, you know what? Maybe we aren't going to go live on TikTok because I'm not seeing how to do it. So I guess this is something I'll have to figure out on my own. But anyways, I am so grateful that you're here. Hey, Michaela, welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are going to go ahead and get started with our breathing. I am so glad to connect with you guys today and excited for the messages that Spirit has in store. So go ahead and start with your breathing. Just close your eyes if you're not driving or doing something where you can't. And what I'd like you to do is with every inhale, I'd like you to visualize and feel healing, love, and light going into your system. And with every exhale, I like you to release all that's no longer serving you. Now, if there's something specific that you're choosing to release, then you can go ahead and focus on that with your exhale. And while you're breathing, I will be sending Reiki healing energy to your heart and your solar plexus chakra. But please keep in mind that the energy is intelligent, so it will go wherever your body, your soul, your mind is calling for it to go, okay? So go ahead and take that inhale slow and deep through your nose, breathing in that love and light. And then slowly release all that's no longer serving you with your exhale. As you continue to breathe, I call on highest light guides, angels, ancestors, healers, teachers, wise ones, ascended masters, and helpful companions, all of highest light and love. I call on you now, and I thank you for filling this space. I thank you for using me as a vessel of highest light and love so that I may deliver the messages that are rooted in highest light, love, and truth and serve those who I'm called to serve today. May you open their minds, their hearts, and their spirits so that they can receive whatever message is for them. I thank you, and so it is. So just go ahead and continue breathing slow and deep, inhaling healing, love, and light, and exhaling all that no longer serves you. Bring your focus to your crown chakra located at the top of your head. And just go ahead and give your crown chakra permission to open. Open your crown chakra now. And just go ahead and allow that loving energy from the divine to pour in through your crown. And just feel it as it travels down to your third eye, extending out to your ear chakras, traveling down to your throat, down to your heart, down to your solar plexus and your sacral, and down to your root. Just go ahead and feel that healing energy traveling down your thighs and your knees, into your calves and your ankles, and into your feet. And you may notice a tingling sensation at the soles of your feet. Go ahead and give your soles permission to open. And just feel those roots bursting out from the soles of your feet. Feel those roots as they travel down to whatever surface your feet are resting on, penetrating Mother Earth, and just feel those roots traveling down to the core of Mother Earth. Stop for a moment and send Mother Earth gratitude, healing, love, and light. And just allow yourself to connect with her loving energy, drawing that energy up through those roots, feeling it as it travels back up through the soles of your feet, traveling up to your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, feeling it in your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your ear chakras, your third eye, and your crown. And just allow Mother Earth's loving energy to come out of your crown, connecting to your highest source of power. Allow the two energies to intertwine and then bring that energy back down into your crown, setting the intention for it to disperse throughout your entire cellular being, filling you with healing, peace, balance, love, light, freedom, security, and self-acceptance. And when you're ready, just go ahead and open your eyes and let me know how you feel. Hey, Mimi, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for being here. So we're just going to set the intention that that energy will continue to flow throughout your entire cellular being. With every inhale, you will continue to breathe in that healing, that love, and that light. And with every exhale, you'll continue to release all that's not serving you. And so it is. So really quick, I am going to take these pictures. I had some things to send to someone from this book, from the deck that we're using today, but I'd like to make sure that these cards are included in today's message. So I'm going to go ahead and take the picture so that I can look it up later and send it to them. Okay. We had a session and there were some exercises. I'm like, you know what? I'll just send it to you. So how are you guys feeling? It feels like it's been forever. Hey, Pat, how are you? Feels like it's been forever, you guys. How has your month been and what's been going on? What's new? It's so funny because we're moving into this new season and we are in the beginning of a new month. And yesterday, when I was connecting to Spirit regarding Empower Hour today, I'm just being told to encourage you to really embrace this newness. Sometimes we're just living life and it's like the seasons, the months, the weeks, the minutes, I mean, they just all kind of blend together. And we don't really have those benchmarks for when we're entering into the new. But we're being called to allow ourselves to get excited about this change of weather, this new season, this new month. Because if we allow ourselves to celebrate each change around us, it makes it so much easier for us to get acclimated with celebrating the changes within us. So you have an opportunity to start fresh. You have an opportunity to connect to those, I'm hearing those earthly ancestors. And as that's coming through, what Spirit is saying, not necessarily the ancestors that are alive, but the parts of the earth that we're connected to, right? We had talked about this a couple of Empower Hours ago, how oftentimes we ground when the weather's nice, right? But we don't always ground when it's not so nice. And we are missing out on so much powerful energy, right? And so what I'm being told to tell you is to keep that in mind and get outdoors as much as you can and allow yourself to connect and ground, allow yourself to connect with nature, to connect with your own natural instincts, and also to just take in all the beauty, right? The beauty, but get excited. That's the message that's coming through. Pat said, it's June. It's my birthday month, Gemini season in full effect. Well, happy birthday month. Happy birthday month. Pat said, yes, so many changes taking place, especially with planetary shifts. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle. If you guys that were on for the deep breathing, if you feel any better, more relaxed, more at peace than you did before we started, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and let me know. Your thumbs up, your likes, your comments, all of that helps with Are these reversed? No, okay, that one though. All of that helps with the algorithm, you know, all that technical stuff. It helps the videos show up in the feeds. Okay, I'm being told to pull from the bottom, and that one's not reversed either. And then one more from the top, not reversed. So I'm like, okay, the deck is just upside down. But that very first card that came out reversed, Spirit said, we're taking it. So you are so welcome. Yes, celebrate you with some adventures and some good rest and some productivity, which we already know you got the productivity down, but Spirit is just saying celebrate you. So this card came in reverse, and it's collaborative dreaming. And it's also 28, which is 10. We get it every single Empower Hour. We always get the messages from the number 10 to end those cycles that don't serve us, to start anew. But collaborative dreaming, what this card is saying is it's time for you to start allowing others to hold space for you as it relates to your dreams. Now, for some of you, this holding space, it is very much so inclusive of those that are living in the 3D realm. But for others, for the majority, what this is telling us is it's time for us to really begin connecting to our guides on a much deeper level. And I believe that message came through before. You know, we've talked about how sometimes we don't just sit and talk to our guides like we would our best friend, right? We tend to talk to our guides, our ancestors, our divine spirit team when we're going through something, or when we have a question about something, right? But what this card is telling us is it's time to include them, right? Include them. And this came through before. I don't remember if it was here or if it was in the Activating You mentorship group, but what I'm receiving is when we're talking about trusting, right? Trusting in our divine spirit team, trusting in spirit. It's really important that we allow ourselves to really get to know our divine team, right? Because if you were to meet a stranger that does something nice for you, you wouldn't necessarily trust them beyond that nice act or that act of kindness, right? So what we're being told is to really have regular sacred time where it's not about asking a specific question. It's not about having prayers answered. It's literally just us connecting to our divine spirit team, having conversation with them, right? This is really, really important. Also, what I'm being told to tell you is that your dreams are not a mere dream. Your dreams are your reality that you are being assisted with making manifest, right? So the way you're looking at dreams or goals, you're being called to shift that and to understand that that is your actual reality, right? If you're experiencing any form of struggle, or if you are in a state of discomfort or a state of lack, right? That's not your real reality. That's the illusion that has been created by your mind, right? And as we know, thoughts are things, our thoughts create our reality. So if you're feeling struggle or lack or fear or any of those things that don't feel good, it's time to step out of the illusion and to step into your actual reality, which is love, acceptance, security, freedom, abundance, right? So that's the message for this card. So what I was receiving as I was holding that up is we are all one and the same, and everything is change, right? We're all one and the same. So start to look at others as if they are the best version of you, right? Now, when that's coming through, what Spirit is saying is, okay, let's address those people that might rub us the wrong way or get under our skin, right? Them being the best version of you is they're showing up as a teacher. They're showing up as an indicator of areas that you're being called to focus on or heal, right? So even in that instance, they're showing up, right, as the highest version of you because they're there to help you learn. They're there to help you grow. They're there to elevate you, right? So that was coming through with that. Let's see what you all are saying. Pat said, yeah, thank you. I did a brief meditation before logging on. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And you are so welcome, Pat. So welcome. So we also had She Feels, She Knows in number 22. So there's that mirroring effect again. And then also look at this. We have 4 and 5 with our next card. Divine order is at play. So she feels she knows. This speaks to what just came through at the end of that card about our thoughts creating our reality, right? So when you are in the midst of attracting your actual reality, right? Pulling yourself up out of the illusion, it's not so much only relying on the thoughts. We're also being called to rely on the feeling, right? And notice how she feels came before she knows, right? And so here's the thing. I'm being called to share this with you. My parents and I went to Chattanooga a few days ago, and I'm currently on a 10-day green smoothie cleanse. And some of our soul family members in the Activating You mentorship have joined. But I'm like, okay, you know what? I've been craving Mexican food, vegan Mexican food. And so I'm going to get some. We went out there. It was one bad experience after another. We went to 2 places. The food was horrible at both, right? And so I'm a foodie, you guys, and I don't play about my food, right? You think somebody stole my money. So I literally was so upset. And so, you know, there's that part of me that could have been like, well, it's not good to show that I'm upset because I'm with my mom and my bonus dad, and they're so used to me being positive, right? Which would not have been truthful or authentic to what I was feeling. So I allowed myself to feel what I was feeling. I believe it was about 10 minutes, right? My mom might know better, but I believe it was like 10 minutes. And I'm telling you, I was so upset. I was probably back there pouting. Matter of fact, I'm sure I was pouting, but I was steaming on the inside. And then all of a sudden, I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I felt my feelings and now I'm done. I'm choosing to be happy. I'm choosing to be grateful. I'm choosing to be in a better mood. And literally my mood switched like that. And my mom was like, when we got home and we were on the phone, she said, yeah, I could feel when you were upset. And then I could feel when your mood shifted, right? So I'm being told to share this with you because it's so important that we allow ourselves to feel what we feel when we feel it, right? But we've had this message come through about not waddling there, right? So as you're elevating, as you're awakening, as you're ascending, right? There are people that are watching you, right? Now, some of them are watching you for motivation and inspiration. Some are watching you, waiting on you to flop, right? Neither are here nor there, right? But sometimes you can put yourself to this high standard on a pedestal that you don't allow yourself to feel. So what happens when you don't allow that is everything is getting pushed inside. You may be a parent, right? Who feels like I must set this example for my child. You may be a spouse that feels like I must set this example for my significant other. You could be a coach, a mentor, or whomever, right? Spirit is saying, release that and feel. It's a part of being human. Now, here's where the she feels, she knows come into play. Once we allow ourselves to feel it, it's important to snap out of it because if we're in the dumps with our feelings, our vibration is lower, right? And we've talked about this. So this isn't nothing new. This is a refresher. Spirit is saying, talk about it. But it's important to remember that, right? So each time you lower your frequency, right? Each time you lower your frequency, what ends up happening is you're setting yourself back a little bit to reaching that reality that is actually yours, that you're choosing to bring into your current state, right? Yesterday, y'all want to know what I did yesterday? I pretty much spent all day on the side of the freeway. So my car had been doing this thing where it was shaking, and I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and call and get my car checked. My call log showed 121 is when I called to make an appointment. I got on the freeway and it started shaking harder, and it actually started knocking. Next thing I know, my tire blows out. So I was able to safely get over on the side of the freeway, and I called roadside assistance. Now, by the time the text came through, it was 1:55. So this gives you the timing of it all. But here's the funny thing. When I heard it knocking and it started shaking harder, I asked Spirit, I said, Spirit, am I safe? And Spirit said, yes. As soon as Spirit said yes, that's when the tire blew out. Now, here's where the safety came in. My twin flame sent a video of a tire blowing out, a rear tire, and it could have been very dangerous. There's a lot of diesel trucks that pass on this highway. So there was the safety. Spirit kept me safe, right? Then we go, my parents, they take me to go get the rest of the stuff for my cleanse. And I end up hitting my ponytail, getting in the car. Now, when I tell you, it can be just a small shift, But I literally fell over in the seat, cussed a bit, was crying probably for about 10 minutes. And my mom was like, her to be crying, it must really hurt. My whole spine, it hurt for them to hug me. Like, it was just horrible, right? And I believe there was something else sprinkled in there that could have made for a really horrible day. But I went and I took a hot shower. And as I was taking that shower, I just said, thank you, right? I said, thank you. I thank Spirit because it could have been worse, right? That tire blowout, it could have been a huge accident, right? I could have been killed. That the fact that I even had insurance to get my car towed, oh, that's what it was. I was out there until almost 6 because they didn't put me in the system. The lady confirmed I was in the system. When I called to check to see what was taking so long, I wasn't even in the system. So I was practicing patience, y'all. And finally I called to find out the ETA. And so, but here again, I just thank Spirit. Thank you for, me having the funds to get new tires. Thank you for, just everything. And it really shifted everything. I expected that little mishap with my neck and my spine to be ongoing. But today I felt fine. I felt great, right? So I sat in the massage chair. I thank Spirit for the massage chair, like literally. So I'm being told to share this because I know it feels like I'm going on and on with this, but I'm being told to share this because it's so important that when we're in the midst of experiencing something that lowers our mood or something that hurts us or something that doesn't feel good or pleasant, it's so important for us to take a moment, right? And to number one, find out, what is this teaching me? That was my question about Chattanooga. What is this teaching me, right? What am I being called to learn? What am I being called to embrace? What am I being called to release, right? And sometimes it's just a simple thank you because it could have been worse, right? By exercising gratitude, you're exercising elevating yourself, right? Now, she knows it also ties into the daily affirmation. I told you guys, when I wake up, I stretch and I smile and I just say, everything that happens in my life serves my highest good. Everything is constantly working out on my behalf. Everything is constantly working out in my favor, right? So if that's the case, then showing gratitude is a sign of trusting that even if I can't see it, I know that everything that happens in my life serves my highest good and everything is happening on my behalf and in my favor. Now, here's the thing. I really put the ride that MF to the wheels fall off. Like I really took that literal, right? And I was like, well, at least I got my money's worth. We know I got my money's worth, right? So anyways, so what Spirit is saying is just to be in that energy of feeling and knowing, right? Feeling and knowing, feeling those high vibes, feeling as if it's already yours, feeling your inner divinity and knowing that you are deserving, knowing that you are capable, and knowing that the things that do not feel comfortable, do not feel good, or anything other than you taking your divine place in this universe is the illusion, right? So let's see what you all are saying. Pat said, I agree. Understanding that we are all one has really helped me be more compassionate with others. Yes, you and me both. It's so powerful, right? It's so powerful when we see the world as us. Hey, Mom. Pat said, hey, Lady Love. My mom said, hey to Pat. Pat said, that's good. I am learning to do this. I used to deny negative feelings, but I know now it's not healthy, right? Because, it just piles up. If we think in terms of, let's just say, we have clothes, right? And we throw dirty clothes in a corner and we don't do anything to unpack those dirty clothes or even wash those dirty clothes. Eventually, they're just piling up. It's the same with our system. Right? When we have these feelings and we suppress them or we don't acknowledge them, or most important, we don't allow ourselves to feel them, they don't go anywhere. It's just like trauma. Until we heal it and release it, it doesn't go anywhere. It's inside of us, preventing us from living within our birthright of abundance, of peace, of balance, of freedom, of security, of love, right? Self-love, acceptance, and compassion, right? So yeah, it's so important. I know. Pat said, oh no, car trouble sucks. And it does. But here's the thing. I'm grateful. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't think y'all understand. I use the word frugal because frugal actually sounds better and it feels better to my spirit. But sometimes I can be downright cheap, right? My mom had kept saying, get some new tires, right? Kept saying it. And I was like, I will, I will. And I looked at my tires. It didn't look like they were that bad, right? But what the shaking was and what the knocking was that the thread had started to come loose. So it was like wrapped around something. Like I was taking some major chances, trusting in spirit. That's what I was doing. Because I was like, okay, spirit, just keep me safe. Am I safe? Mm-hmm. So anyways, yeah, it really does. But I'm just in gratitude. Like really, the reality of, yeah, it does suck, right? But I chose to just embrace the gratitude, right? To just embrace the gratitude. And also, you guys, if you can do me a huge favor while we're all on together, if you guys can send prayers and healing energy to my oldest son, I'm pretty sure he has COVID. I'm 100% sure he has COVID, but he's definitely going to be okay. He's not going to die. He's going to recover. But if you guys can send that, because he's dealing with the same symptoms that I had, which is the horrific headache, right? So he's going to get tested today. His job requested that he gets tested. So if you guys can send that prayers and healing energy, that would be much appreciated. Let's see. My mom said yes on gratitude. Pat said, wow, you went through a range of emotions. I really did. Seriously. And then I was led to reschedule the group session that was scheduled for yesterday, not realizing I sent the email on Sunday to reschedule it for Thursday. Had I not done that, I wouldn't have been able to make it anyway. I mean, I would have been, doing it from my car, but by the time they came to tow the car, it would have been interrupted. So again, everything happens according to divine timing, right? So when we can listen to the guidance that spirit gives us, right? We don't know why we're being guided. This is like the forever message that comes up every time. But spirit gives different examples in different scenarios so that we can see from the smallest to the largest chain of events. When we're being guided, it's always for a reason. Why? Because we have been claiming everything that happens in my life serves my highest good, and life is already always working out on my favor, on my behalf, right? So had I not rescheduled that group session, following the guidance, I wouldn't have been able to complete the group session, right? It wouldn't have been very comfortable doing it from my car, right? So this is an example of that in addition to the other examples. Now, also, again, Spirit is telling us that with the 22 is 4 and the 14, which is 5. Let's see what y'all are saying. Yes, yes, yes. Pat said, glad everything worked out for your highest good. Most definitely. Thank you. Everything worked out. Pat said, yes, I get it. Release is important. So important. So important. Pat said, I can relate. I've been known to be frugal, but we have to remember we are abundant. Exactly. So here's how I combat that, right? Here's how I combat that. See, here's the thing. Leaving home at 16, I went through some really tough times, including financially tough, right? So when I ended up building this life, at first I was like, crazy, right? Going crazy, buying stuff. I was really big on diamonds and had a bunch of them, wasn't into crystals back then. And diamonds was the only crystal I was into. And then I got to the point where I started to develop this concept of greater later, right? Greater later. Now I can see the lack in that belief system, but at the time it served my highest good because it allowed me to make decisions based on how spirit would have guided me, considering the circumstances, if I had been spirit led at the time, right? So now what I do is I allow spirit to guide me on what to circulate, how to circulate, right? Even if it's going shopping. The other day, my mom and I went shopping. I'm like, okay, spirit, what's my limit? And then spirit told me 200. And I was like, okay, cool. It ended up not coming to 200, but you know what? A few days later, I went back to the store and ended up getting these shoes. I was like, oh, it came up to 200 considering that other day. So that's how I do it. I just ask spirit. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm not getting that. And then spirit will be like, get it. You deserve it. Treat yourself. And then sometimes I'll be like, ooh, I'm getting that. And spirit will be like, no. So I don't know if you guys remember when I was sharing about, it may have been in our soul family and activating you. I don't remember sometimes where certain conversations are had, but there were these pans. And they were so cute. And I was like, ooh, and I share with you guys, I was like, spirit told me not to get them. I don't know why, but spirit told me not to get them. So I'm not going to get them. And the reason why I'm laughing is because just the other day, I came across these pans in my, phone, camera, pictures, right? My mom got them. Okay, I got to show y'all. These pants are so ugly on. So ugly on. I understood why Spirit told me not to get them. And the fact that I am a lot shorter than my mom, they would have been even worse on me. So I'm going to show you guys, and then I'm going to get back to the message, okay? Because the visual, you got to get the visual. Okay, here it is. Let me see if I can tone my light down. Can you guys see these pants? Do you see how ugly these pants are? And you can tell they're too long even for my mom. And I'm 5'2", my mom is 5'5", right? I was so grateful I listened to Spirit. But it's little stuff like this, right? I buy stuff from this company all the time. And the stuff is usually super cute. It fits super good. But these pants, even when they went on sale, I'm like, ooh. And Spirit was like, nope, still don't get them. That's why. That's why. Spirit also knows I hate to make post office runs, so me having to return it, So yeah, so that showed you when Spirit guides us, we don't know why we're being guided, but it always is working out in our favor and serving our highest good. Let's see. Too long and too big. I was waiting to see my mom say, no, you didn't show those pants. Let's see. My mom said, now I can ride with you again with comfort. Yes, she was like, I was like, I'm scared to ride with you. I'm a daredevil, y'all. I be taking chances. I'm joking. That wasn't very wise. Pat said, yes, Spirit always knows. I just trust and follow the lead. Absolutely. Absolutely. And when we talk about being Spirit led and allowing Spirit to guide our lives, right? You may feel that it's like the big things, the big choices, right? The things that have a huge impact on our lives. But in reality, I'm going to say it again, even the smallest things. Like my mom used to be, she's not late anymore. My mom is always on time now. But back in the day, she used to be late. Like she would take forever to get ready. You can't really say late because it would just be a time we agreed on. It's not like it was business stuff. She's on time for that. However, she started to be on time all the time. And you know how? Because Spirit will tell her what to wear. And when Spirit guides her on what to wear, not only has her fashion improved lately, but she's always on time. So it's things that are small like that to huge things that if we just allow Spirit to guide us, we're going to reap the benefits. We're going to reap the benefits. So it's amazing. Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you so much. Pat said, yes, Spirit always knows. Just trust and follow the lead. Nahkila, you take being Spirit led to a whole new level. Thank you. I really do. And it feels good, right? I'm not going to use the term I pride myself in doing that, but I'm going to say I'm proud of myself for doing that because it's not what I find is it's not always easy, for it to be done. I get to witness. And so I realize the reason why I'm able to do it. Number one, it starts with a choice, but number two, because part of my calling is to serve and teach others how to be Spirit led, right? So as that's coming through, I'm being told to tell you, and not just you, Pat, but all of you, as you begin to peel back the layers and uncover what your purpose is for existing in this reality, you'll find that what you're called to share and teach the world, it's going to come easy once you embrace your calling, right? Once you heal, that's first. Once you heal, right? Well, embracing and healing, I guess it's not even first, second. It's like neck and neck. It's like twins, C-section, two doctors, pull them out at the same time. Okay. But literally you'll find that and Spirit let me know the reason why it comes so easy for me is because this is my calling, right? It's my calling. And also because once I began allowing myself to be Spirit led and I was able to see the benefits and feel and experience the benefits, it's like the other way. There's no way I can go back. You know what I mean? Like there's just no way I can go back. No way. When I think about the hit or miss or the maybe, the outcome will be good or, the overthinking, the stressing, it takes the guesswork out of it, right? It aligns me with my true divinity and my birthright, right? Of all the things that we are born to experience, right? It takes the struggle out of living. So, Pat said, yes, those are not for you. No. And that was my mom in those pants, right? Because she ordered the pants. She didn't get the message from Spirit not to order the pants, right? She didn't get that message. But my mom is also like, if she has a post office run, she does it. I don't know why I hate the post office, y'all. I can't even tell you why I hate running to the post office. My uncle, my dearest uncle, my Uncle James, he's who my youngest was named after. Samaj is James backwards. And anyways, I sent him a birthday card last year. No, 2 years ago. His birthday's in December. It got returned to sender. I still had the card. Then I got him a birthday card. I was like, I'm gonna be on time this year. He just got his birthday card and his present and that card from the year before. Last month sometime. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But I committed that the rest of the year and next year, I'm going to be on time mailing birthday cards, okay? I'm going to do it. I'm going to be on time. I might send everybody stuff January 1st, tell them don't open till your birthday. No, I'm not going to do that. That's cheating. Oh, man. But yeah, let's see. Pat said, okay, now I see. Yes, that's also what happens when we don't listen. Pat said, I used to take chances like that too with my old car, but not anymore. Yeah, see, and here's the thing. I didn't even realize it was my tires. Because literally, I wasn't joking when I said I looked at my tires and they didn't look bald. So I'm thinking, oh, my tires are good. What I thought the shaking and the knocking was, I thought it was the fact that when I got rear-ended, they fixed the dent, but they didn't check for structural damage. That's what I thought it was. So even though originally I was going to have the car towed to get the tires changed, right? And then I had an appointment today to take my car in. Well, when they got there so late, I ended up rescheduling the appointment for tomorrow. Well, now that my tires are fixed and I realized all of that was from the tires, I can cancel that other appointment. That's what I was doing before we got on, but they didn't pick up. So anyways, yeah, that's pretty much. And I totally could have asked Spirit what it was, but you know what I was focused on? Am I safe? That's what Spirit, am I safe? Spirit, please and thank you, keep me safe. Make sure I'm okay until I get this done, right? So that was where I was at, I had no idea that tires could do all of that, but now I know. So yeah. And also, as I'm sharing that with you, the flip side is, you guys know how we always look at things and experiences and we can find the blessing in it all, right? So here's the flip side. Considering all the circumstances in the course of me waiting to get tires, right? Now, had I made the appointment and taken the car in, right, before the tires, which was the plan, today, I didn't expect the tires to blow. I would have ended up paying for a diagnostic. I'm sure they would have found something to tell me was wrong with my car. I would have ended up paying for that. But because the tire busted, I was able to realize that that's what the problem was and avoid a diagnostic fee. So there's always blessings within every single experience, right? Every experience, there's blessing. And again, it speaks to that divine order, right? That divine order. Everything happens according to divine timing and divine order. So yeah. I know, right? But here's the thing. My uncle is late sending me my birthday stuff too. And we kind of joke about it, right? But I this year, I just took it to a whole nother level this year. I took it to a whole nother level. I mean, so much so I was able to throw in an extra gift in there. So yeah, but I am vowing to be on time. And if he's not, it's okay. Like, he's never as late as me. Never as late as this time. Like, his is late, but not as late as me. So, okay. So we have going beyond normal. What is, I like that light bulb, that golden light bulb, going beyond normal. So when I was so attracted to this golden light bulb, one of the things that was coming through, right, is don't be afraid to appear abnormal. Don't be afraid to appear abnormal. Don't be afraid to stand out in the crowd. Don't be afraid to go against the grain, right? Don't be afraid to allow Spirit to guide you into your destiny. Now, what does that mean? What that means is you're here to serve, right? And when you start to disrupt the trauma, or some call it the demons within a person's soul, they don't feel too good. So their natural first response, unless right? Unless their unconscious and conscious mind are on board with releasing and healing, right? Because a lot of us, we've chosen to heal because of that. Our unconscious and our conscious mind were on board with the healing. We had enough. Enough is enough. I'm ready, right? But sometimes a person's unconscious can be ready and on board, but their conscious mind will not be, or vice versa, right? Usually, if it's disrupting their spirit, it's their unconscious mind that's ready, but their conscious mind is not. So when that happens, they're going to react in a way that may not always feel the greatest to us. But this is why we're called to be the detached witness and grow a bit of a thick skin, right? Because sometimes we're planting seeds. And just like we don't always understand why spirit is guiding us in the ways we're being guided, we don't always understand why we have a message to give, right? But sometimes we hold back because are we going to be judged? Are we going to be looked at as weird? Are we going to, all these things, right? All these things. And spirit is saying, let that go. See, that golden idea, that golden bulb is spirit. That's the message that spirit gives to us, right? And then these things here, it's the frequency. It's how we're meant to send it out. Waves of love, waves of wisdom, waves of healing, right? We're meant to send it out. So notice her eyes are up. She's looking to spirit, right? To guide her. And this is specifically speaking about to guide you in your words, right? Now we're being called to shift to something else as it relates to your words. So right now the message came through to start to speak the truth, right? As spirit gives it to you no matter what, right? No matter what. But also, now I just heard speak your truth. So what I just heard was allow yourself to be guided into the destiny of healing, freedom, peace, and balance. So those are the seeds, right? Those are the seeds that you're being called to plant. Stop being afraid. Stop worrying about how you show up to the world, because you were here to stand out, right? You're not here to conform to others' comfort zone. You're here to shake them out of their comfort zone, right? So that they can really understand comfort. And I'm hearing and live in the lap of luxury. And that's coming through as the lap of luxury isn't just talking about money. It's included, but luxury, real luxury, sitting and living in that lap of luxury is that freedom, is that joy, is that peace, that balance, that self-love and acceptance, that compassion, that security, right? That connection to the divine, that abracadabra, as I speak, I create, right? That's the real lap of luxury, right? So spirit is telling us it's time for us to get out of being normal, because what is normal, right? It reminds me of when my children and I used to have opposite day. Did y'all play that with your kids? Opposite day. So whatever we say, it's the opposite. That's what it reminds me of, right? How we're existing in today's time. We've been taught what is not normal is, and what is normal is not. Right? So when you have that rumbling in your soul, that rumbling in your spirit, right? When you are feeling drawn to something, or when you're choosing to be something or do something, right? And it goes against what society deems as normal. Spirit is reminding you that's normal, right? When you're in, okay, maybe this is just me, but when you're in the store having a conversation, and you so comfortable with self, you no longer just do it up here. You're actually talking out loud. That's more normal than not, right? But we've been taught, oh, you crazy, or are you wearing a Bluetooth? You got to be talking to some physical form, right? So spirit is saying you're being called to step outside of your comfort zone of what you've been taught normal is, and to just allow yourself to be. Now we talk about being guided by spirit, right? And this has come through before also, how we are also one of our guides. Sometimes that guidance comes through in the form of your body. How do you feel? Sometimes that guidance comes through in your mind. What are you thinking? Sometimes it comes through in other ways pertaining to you as an individual, right? Your highest self is always on. Whether you are aware or not, your highest self is always on. And your highest self is always guiding you, choosing to guide you into what is best or what serves your highest good. Now, when we talk about what is best relates to abundance on all levels, freedom, peace, security, self-love and acceptance, right? Compassion, right? fearlessness, right? So your higher self is always guiding you there, right? It's like this tug of war between your higher self and society. There's this tug of war between your highest self and your ego. Just throw in the white flag and let your higher self win. Stop getting them rope burns on your hands, fighting against you. Because you know what serves your highest good. You know what serves your highest good. But things like fear creep in, doubt creeps in, lack creeps in. And then what happens is those traumatic parts of your unconscious mind sees an opening and it starts to speak. It starts to talk you out of freedom. It starts to talk you out of self-love and acceptance. It starts to talk you out of abundance. It talks you out of compassion, right? And then your vibration goes, and then you wonder, why is it that I'm not manifesting the way I set my intention to manifest? Why is it that I'm not receiving or experiencing the things that I've been telling Spirit I'm choosing for myself, right? So yeah, let's see what you all are saying. Pat said, you and your uncle are a mess. Yes, we are. He's so amazing. Oh my gosh, he's so amazing. He's like one of my favorite people. Pat said, luxury is worry-free for me. Absolutely, absolutely. And you know how you get to the point of being worry-free? When you feel worried, you push through in spite of, right? See, here's the thing. This is the formula to overcome something that is plaguing us, right? Once we acknowledge, first of all, when we allow ourselves to become aware that that's the frequency we're in, right? That that's the belief system we're adapting to, then we have a choice, right? Now, being aware doesn't mean it's going to now magically disappear, right? The fact that we are able to push through in spite of is how it begins to magically disappear, right? So it's time for us to start to acknowledge what we're feeling. Okay, thank you for showing up. I know that your intentions are good. See, we're talking to the parts of us, right? Those parts of us that are still existing in trauma, fear, worry, doubt, right? We're talking to, I know that you are here because you're afraid, or I know that you are here because you're worried. But you know what? Spirit's got us. Everything that happens is serving our highest good. Everything is always working out. Trust me, right? Trust me. This is you speaking to those parts of yourself, right? That's attempting to steal your joy, steal your abundance, steal your bliss, right? All that self-love and acceptance, right? So you talk to those parts of you. You get those parts of you to a point where its guard is down just a little bit. And then you move. You run, right? You don't wait. You run. And as I'm sharing that, Spirit is showing me, like, have you guys seen movies? Now, I love scary movies. So have you seen movies where they'll know something's going on, something's not right, and they'll slowly walk away? They're lucky if they slowly walk away. Sometimes they'll slowly walk towards the scary music, right? So that's equivalent to us knowing in our souls, knowing in our spirits, or even being guided by Spirit, and then we allow that opening to come in. Once it's there, right? Once it's there, it'll take over, right? So when your soul is guiding you, when Spirit is guiding you, it's about immediate action. Immediate action. I can't stress it enough. If I don't take immediate action, I'm a human being. So I know what can possibly happen. So I have systems in place, right? Just like I love a clean home, but I don't really like to clean. Matter of fact, I hate to clean. So I have systems where it don't ever feel like I'm cleaning because it's always clean, right? It's always easy to maintain. It's maintenance, right? So because I know certain things about myself or how I operate, I have systems in place. Systems. When I used to work as a manager at the furniture store, my manager was like, you are so organized. I'm like, oh, but I'm not. I have systems in place, which in hindsight makes me organized. But what I meant was I'm not naturally organized. But because I know this and I know it's a part of me thriving, I have systems in place, right? So one of those systems that we're all being called to have in place is when we're existing in that ego place, right? And when we receive, to run, do it in spite of. And then we'll start to notice, like, oh, that improved my life. Okay. Next time, I'm going to be real immediate, as opposed to immediate. And then we do it again. It's like, oh, okay. And then, you know what? It's like we the genie. Remember I Dream of Genie? And then we just there in whatever we were guided to do, right? There's no more running, taking immediate action. I'm there, right? So yeah, let's see what you all are saying. Pat said, yes, no such thing as normal. So true. Things are upside down. Yes, absolutely. Pat said, yes, it's 444 here. I saw the light just got brighter as I read the 444. So, okay, Spirit, I got the message. I'll read 444 for all of us. Let's see. Pat said, yes, ego is always there making us question our divine self. It is. And you know what I find when I battle with ego, eventually you'll think I'm not even psychic. Because I'll be so confused. I'll be like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not, Spirit, just guide me, right? Sometimes ego will be tugging at me, tugging at my heartstrings, tugging at my mind strings, right? And it's like, and I'm just going to say that's coming through. Ego will make us their bitch. I don't know about you. If I'm being anybody's bitch, it's going to be Spirit. If I'm gonna be anybody's, right? Not ego, right? And I'm seeing like puppet strings, like ego will have us on puppet strings, doing things that do not serve our highest good, right? Turning our back on Spirit and just on autopilot, right? And ego is also really deeply associated with society. It's deeply associated with trauma. Where does trauma come from? If we really look at trauma at its core, right? At its core, those that showed up as the traumatizer, where did that come from, right? It's connected to society. It's connected to trauma that they experience. It's connected to teachings that they've been taught, right? It's connected to the same source. But you know how the Bible says you can't serve two masters, right? You can't serve two masters. Now, I don't know what the preacher done said, but what Spirit is saying right now, what that means is you cannot be a servant of the divine, of God, of the universe, of Allah, of the Most High, and also be a servant to ego. That just don't work, right? I'm doing karate. You're either serving your highest source of power, your highest source of divinity, or you're serving ego, right? And so that also brings us to the conversation of God and the devil, right? Oh, there's layers to this, but let's put it in perspective. There's no such place as hell where we're going to burn. Heaven and hell is a state of mind. Heaven and hell is a state of belief, right? Heaven and hell is a state of our own creation, right? Heaven and hell is experienced in every incarnation, right? So what are you choosing? Like, let's really break it down. Are you choosing heaven or hell? Let's take it a step further. I'm choosing heaven. I don't know about you, but I'm choosing heaven. Let's see what you're saying. Hey, Michonne, how are you? Okay, you guys. So you know what? Michonne has an amazing shop on Etsy. I just got a beautiful crystal from her, and she sent me an amazing necklace that she had for me from way back with Ganesh. So adorable and so appreciated because Ganesh is like my favorite. That's what my cat's name is, Ganesh. So what I like you to do is subscribe to Michonne's. Michonne said, I'm nobody's bitch. Right, I'm nobody's bitch. Okay, exactly. Let me go ahead. I don't know why they got that comment hidden. Probably my settings. But anyways, go subscribe to her channel. And Michonne, leave your Etsy shop's name in the chat so that they can go and favorite your shop and check out your offerings. So let's see. Pat says, so true, because sometimes if you wait, the moment might be over. Exactly. And I share with you all how one of my sisters in light came to me with a message, right? And I was sitting there, and I'm always open. Like, I don't care who you are, where you from. If I know that you are connected to Spirit and you have a message for me, I'm taking that message in. I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I'm open, right? I'm totally open. It's never like, oh, you can't give me no message. No, never that. So anyway, she came to me with a message. So I'm open and I'm listening, and I kind of chuckled to myself because I'm like, yeah, that message was accurate like 2 to 3 weeks ago, maybe even 4. Because I just got done working on all that and healing all that, right? Me and Gillian, we meet every month. If you haven't checked Gillian out, links in the description box. Go ahead and schedule your healing session with Gillian. Amazing part of my monthly maintenance. But anyways, so we done work through this, right? I've been working with her, working with self, working with Spirit. Now, here's the thing. that sister in light was like, you know what? I received that message about that amount of time ago. I said, yeah, had you given it to me then, right? So here's the lesson. There was something there for her in that moment to learn, right? Was to take immediate action. It's not just about immediate action as it relates to tasks that are centered around, whatever came to mind when I mentioned that. I can't put it in words, but whatever came to mind when we were first having this conversation about immediate action, it's not always just related to that. Sometimes it's related to a message you're being called to give, taking us back to that being okay with not being normal and getting those messages out, right? Everything is according to divine timing. So when spirit gives it to you, places it on your heart, places it in your soul, that is when you're called to act. It's not just about here's some guidance for you. That's it. It's not just that, the guidance for you that you're called to take immediate action on. It's also the guidance you're receiving to give to others. Everything is about that action, right? I'm hearing talk that talk and walk that walk. The talk is the messages you receive. The talk is also when you are feeling doubt, when you're feeling worry, when you're feeling fear, right? To talk about it with spirit as you're taking immediate action. You guys remember that time I told you I went to celebrate Diamond and Tia Lynn's wedding, and we went to this gaming place, and it was this obstacle course that looks like, those shows where there's water underneath you and they knock you off, and it's up high and you do all that stuff. Well, you guys know after my healing, I became literally deathly afraid of heights. Like literally, I can be up too high. I can see a movie and see somebody. It just does something to me, right? But again, I'm going ziplining at the retreat because Spirit said, and I'm gonna overcome this fear. I'm just gonna push through it. So long story short, I'm on this obstacle thing, and I'm talking to Spirit the whole time. Spirit, I know you got me. Spirit got me. Spirit got me. Like literally. And then not to mention when I get up there, the thing is shaking, so it don't feel stable. Yeah, I was scared. But I was talking to Spirit as I was pushing through, right? So we're being called to, you don't have to push it down. It's like my favorite lake. When I first went there and I sat the chair out it's really a boating dock, right? Where I sit. And it's just moving and moving. And something about not being able to feel the bottom. That wasn't comfortable. I was afraid. I'm sitting there and Spirit's like, you can trust or you cannot. It's totally up to you, but you're okay. And I'm like, but Spirit, this don't feel comfortable. Like I am not enjoying myself. Literally, this is the conversation. I'm like, Spirit, this is not comfortable. I'm not enjoying myself. I'm not having fun. And Spirit was like, it's up to you. And I chose to trust and push through. Before that day was over, my feet in the water. I'm out of the chair. I'm sitting on the edge, looking at the little fish underneath my feet, and now I go there all the time and there's no fear. Same as when I went to the mountains. The inside of this Airbnb, that place, the inside was beautiful, but the outside looked like it was something that was remodeled, but the building was maybe from the 80s, right? So I'm on this balcony and I'm just like, I don't know why I feel like everything's going to break. I always felt like even in childhood, everything's going to break, right? I know what it is. I'll tell you in a minute. So anyways, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, okay, Spirit, I'm scared. I'm scared. Then I hear rustling below me, rustling in the tree. So I'm like, is somebody attempting to climb up here? What is that? So I got the fear of this balcony breaking and me plummeting to my death. And then I have this fear of somebody trying to crawl up there and get me, right? So anyway, Spirit's talking me through it. And I'm just like, Spirit, I'm scared and this is not comfortable. Like, I don't like the way this feels. And Spirit was like, you're fine. You're fine. I trust. I have you. You're fine. So I did while I was having that conversation. And then eventually that fear went away of it breaking and me plummeting to my death. And then what came out of the bushes were these cute little black bears. It wasn't nobody trying to come up and slaughter me. It was these cute little black bears playing in the trees and in the bushes. So, have conversations with Spirit. Let's see what y'all are saying. Mishan said, okay, I will. Thanks for the shout out. Of course. Pat said, yes, a message delayed could have really blessed someone. Oh, wow. Exactly. And as I read that, what Spirit is saying, it can open up deeper conversation, right? So had that message been delivered when it was given, she and I could have had a conversation about it, and possibly there could have been something deeper that on my own I wouldn't have been able to grab, or maybe it would have helped me heal it sooner. Like, we just never know, right? It could be so many things, right? So it's definitely immediate action is the way to go. The way to go. Pat said that really is the message, isn't always just for us. Exactly, exactly. Michonne said, yes, I learned that lesson a while ago, but I'm struggling with giving unsolicited messages. Not everyone receives it well. So here's the thing. Like, I don't know when you got on, but here's the thing. This is why everything is to be spirit led. Now, here's the thing. I can't remember who I was talking to. I think it was my sister Denise, but I was saying that whenever I have a conversation with someone, and if they share what they're overcoming, right? Because I'm not going to call it a struggle. I'm receiving solutions. I'm receiving the guidance, right? It's always on, right? It's just a natural part of the gift. But the only time I share, if they're not enrolled in my mentorship or at the retreat, or they have not basically said, I'm hiring you to serve me and to give me messages, so you don't have to wait for me to say, give me these messages, right? That's out of consideration for them, to respect them and their journey, to not do that, right? It has nothing to do with the fact, oh, you're not paying me. That's just respect. But when Spirit says, deliver this, I'm disrespecting them by not, right? Because Spirit is all knowing. Spirit has heard those prayers, those choices, those affirmations, right? And just like we don't know when we're being guided into where, right? When we're being guided, we don't know where we're being guided, but we know that it's the answer to some prayer. It's the answer to some calling. It's the realization of some affirmation, right? So Spirit is using us to be that blessing to them, right? So that's the rule of thumb. Spirit got to tell me to give it. If Spirit don't tell me, I'm not giving it, because that's respectful. So just, if you're not instantly, if it could be the same where, you're on, like it's like once you're connected, it's just solution, right? So if that happens, just ask Spirit, does it serve my highest good, or does it serve their highest good, or does it serve mine and their highest good to deliver this message? Or Spirit, what would you like me to do with this message? Right? And just allow Spirit to guide you. And then you'll know. Yeah. Let's see. Let me close these. Calendar stuff popped up, so it's blocking some of the messages. Also, we're going to do readings today, the mini readings, you guys. So if you're interested, that's so funny for my mom, but it's hiding it because of the settings. I just unhid it. So anyways, if you like to have a mini reading done at the end of Empower Hour, they're $25. You can either ask a single question or you can ask for a general. I'm going to share the PayPal. Not PayPal. My mom threw me off with that. I'm going to share the Cashapp link with you. And then I'll deliver the SCOTT. I'll deliver the readings as the payment comes in, okay? Yeah, let's see. Adrian said, yes, push through. I love that. You're sharing the story about the fear of heights. It resonates. Yes. And you know what? Literally, I did not develop that fear until I healed. And I always say that because I associate it with, what? No, we're not leaving site. What are you doing? I share that because I associate it with the two fears. The only two fears that we're born with are the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises, right? Everything else, it's learned, right? It's learned, or it's absorbed, right? And so I associate that with the fear of falling. And I'm looking out because there was a time where I couldn't be on my balcony and look down without getting that feeling inside, but I've overcome that. So it's just really strange. Now, that whole thing about the fear of things breaking, I've always had that, but not to the point where it stopped me from doing things, right? my computer is like doing weird stuff. Not to the point of stopping me from doing things. So for instance, I used to love roller coasters, right? Loved roller coasters. But part of the adrenaline rush was feeling like, okay, if this thing broke and I fell out, like I was always running in my head, like, how would I hold on? What's my course of action if this breaks, right? But then it got to a point where it was so horrible that I don't even enjoy roller coasters anymore. So what my lesson is, what Spirit has been teaching me, is the reason why Spirit said, okay, so since you're afraid of high zip lining, is one of the things you guys are doing at the retreat, is because Spirit is calling me to have a deeper trust in Spirit. Like my trust in Spirit must be deeper than my lack of trust in man, right? And so that's why, because that fear of things breaking, it's only the stuff that's man-made. I feel more comfortable in a tree. I trust a tree to hold me up more than I trust those things made by man, right? I think of things like, in Puyallup, when I lived in Washington State, I lived in a place called Puyallup, and we had the Puyallup Fair. Now, they hire people that go to Labor Ready to do their work, right? To put things together. I'm not saying people that go to Labor Ready is bad or incompetent, because I've had family members that have done that and they were not. However, you have some people working at Labor Ready that are on drugs, that are alcoholics, and some people that just don't take pride in what they do, and they're the ones tightening screws. See, my mind would think like that, right? This was when I was an overthinker. And although the overthinking has subsided, that not trusting my safety in the hands of man, right? That can be something that prevents me from fully living. So Spirit is just showing me, Spirit is teaching me. And all Spirit had to do was let me know that. It's like, oh, so I'm fearing man being incompetent more than I'm trusting you. Oh no, we're not gonna have that. So the fear is not gone yet, but I'm pushing through in spite of, right? In spite of. Now back to that obstacle course. I didn't finish the whole thing. I stopped when Spirit said, okay, you're good, right? Baby steps, baby steps. And sometimes we may think Spirit is guiding us down a path and we got to walk that entire path. And Spirit is just like, no, I'm going to make it where it's doable, right? Sometimes we will be guided to walk that whole path, but at the end of the path, there's something amazing. So either way, we're winning. I was gonna say hashtag winning. Okay, and y'all, I'm starting with the silliness. So let's see. Pat said, you overcame that fear quickly. Which one? Because the fear of my balcony. Now I'm up high, but I ain't zipline high. And I've been here almost 2 years. But you know what it was? Remember that time when I did that cleanse, when I did that 7 days and I disconnected from everything? That's when that was gone. That's when I could literally look over the balcony without having, it's like this thing in my spirit. It's almost like, you know how it feels like when your heart drops, but it's all through my body. It's weird, but that's when that happened. So yeah, that's when that happened. So I'm choosing that after I go zip lining, I am going to overcome that fear. And as I was saying that to you all, Spirit was telling me to share this with you. Now, there is a difference between overcoming something and just not enjoying something, right? So just because I overcome the fear doesn't mean I'm going to now enjoy heights. That's not what that means, right? That's not what that means. But what I'm being told to tell you is, when we're fearing something, that's our indication to pursue it without abandon. That's our indication. That's our higher self telling us to do this, right? And what you'll find is Spirit is going to guide you to do things. It's going to feel like you're being guided to do things that it's like, really, Spirit? So again, something else? Because anything that you're fearing or anything that's holding you back, it's literally holding you back. And so what Spirit is doing is answering that declaration when you chose to be the best version of yourself, when you chose to be whatever you've chosen to be, right? And so if there's something that you're afraid of and it has the ability to, make you submit to that fear as opposed to submitting to your desires, your dreams, your goals, your blessings, well, then Spirit's going to keep pushing you to that until you overcome it. Right? So the quickest way to stop being pushed into something that you may not enjoy is to just go ahead and overcome it. Go ahead and get through it, right? Just get it done. So let's see what you're saying. I'm still laughing. My mom put mama's little B-I-T, and then she put the star H. So that was funny to me, you guys. That's the comment that was hidden that I unhid that was making me laugh. Michonne said, okay, yes, that's exactly how it was. Spirit led. It kind of scared her and she shut the conversation down. And that's okay. That's okay. Because you know what? I met this girl in 2005, right? And we connected instantly to the point we became best friends. We were inseparable, best friends. This was before I even knew I was psychic. But what she told me one day is, you always know what's going on in my life without me telling you. And I was just thinking like, when, what? Like I had no recollection of what she could even be talking about. It just felt like we were having regular conversations, right? So she even told me like, you really taught me what it is to have a real friend, because she had a bunch of friends that she knew all her life in Virginia, and she worked for the government. Long story short, contract job was in Washington State, and that's how we met. And so the friendship, she just stopped communicating, right? She's not on social media, so we just lost touch. I've looked, her brother, her twin, I've looked on his, but he's not even active, right? So anyways, I guess it is what it is. But anyways, what it is, Spirit told me it scared her. It scared her. Well, see, what was happening then, it was that even before we knew we were psychic, we're all born psychic. So those of us that are called to really embrace it in this lifetime, right? We exist in that gift a little bit different. So it was scaring her. But Spirit wasn't guiding me. I wasn't even aware that I was doing it. That's the kind of fear. That's the kind of situation where, you know, if we are aware, it borderlines not respecting that person, right? However, in the situation of Spirit guiding it, it is planting seeds. And that woman shutting the conversation down because Spirit guided you to do it, her soul received those seeds. And I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't come back to you at a later time after she's been able to process it and ask you more questions. And here's the other thing, we're being called to allow people their time and space to process. So we talk about being the detached witness all the time, right? All the time. So a person may not process the information the way we expect. They may not respond with a yes, I get it, a thank you, or anything. They may just go silent, or they may shut the conversation down, but they're processing. If Spirit guided you, they're processing, even if they're not consciously aware of it. Right? So what you're being called to do is step out of the fear, be in that fearless warrior state, that fearless God, goddess state, right? And just be that messenger that you came here to be when Spirit prompts it. So let's get into the next card. We have conscious connections. And it's the number 8, 35 is 8, which leads us to that infinite being that we are. And speaking of that, diving for light. I'm being told to show those at the same time. Okay, so what's the message here? Conscious connections. Ooh, okay. Okay, so let me say it as you go, because you give me too much, you know where that's gonna go. So anyways, the conscious connections, what this is telling us is we're going to have some relationships where we connect in a very conscious state, right? Some of our relationships are a result of ego bonding even, right? And those conscious connections that we have made, right, are the ones that we sometimes fear losing the most, right? So as a result of that, this is another form of dimming, right? This is another form of dimming. You know, dimming isn't always showing up in a room full of strangers and dimming to not appear as a know-it-all and to not have people think those type of things about you. It's also relating to these connections that we built our entire lives, or that we built instantly, like me and Erica, and it was just such a deep connection, right? That is referring to all of those things that we may fear losing. Now, here's the thing. What we're being called to do is be, I'm hearing, more in tune with and place more value on those unconscious connections. Now, it's not to say get rid of all of our friends and family members that are existing in that conscious state, right? It's not to say that. But what it's saying is Spirit is reiterating and driving that point home. Why are you here? Why are you here? What is your role to play? Right? Now, whether you break it down to the specifics, if you are on this live today or if you watch the replay, you are here to help shift the collective consciousness. You're here to do that. You're here to help shift the collective consciousness, right? That's what you're here for. That is your soul's purpose and your soul purpose, right? SOLE, SOUL. That is your soul purpose, right? Is to do that. So if that requires some people not understanding you, so be it, right? Telling us to be more concerned, more energetically committed to the conscious connection. So that means when Spirit says, sprinkle teeth like Salt Bay, we do it, right? And then I'm hearing E40, sprinkle me, man. That's what their soul is saying. Sprinkle me, man. Listen to that E40 song. That's what their souls are saying. Their conscious mind be like, oh no, I'm not ready for that. But their soul is like, she ready, he ready, right? So, and a lot of these people, their souls are waiting for your message, right? Like those that I have been called to serve, right? Those that I have been called to serve, those whose souls called on me, right? To walk this journey with them. If I hadn't accepted my calling, they would have still been waiting, right? And this isn't an ego thing. This is reality for all of us. There are specific souls, right, that we are called to serve. Specific souls whose awakening is waiting on ours, right? Now, if you've already began your awakening, there are specific souls that are waiting to receive certain messages to go to their next level of evolution. And they cannot do that until you surrender. Until you surrender and just be Spirit-led in all things, right? Specifically delivering those messages. So, yeah. Okay, and then I'm hearing back to life, back to reality. However do you want it? However do you need it? And I started hearing that, right? I started hearing that when I looked at this and started receiving the message from this. So when we talk about seeing everyone as us, right? We see everyone as being us. If there was something that you could receive that was going to improve your state of existing, would you rather be given that message or not? Now, again, remember, we're talking one Spirit guides you to give it, right? Not just, oh, we got solutions, we know the answer, so I'm going to just have diarrhea to mouth, right? Not that. But when Spirit has guided you, right? Because whether they're consciously aware or not, their soul is ready so they can come back to life and back to reality, right? Not this matrix that we've been told was reality, right? That we've been tricked into believing or thinking is reality, but that real reality, that reality where we are the masters of our lives, where we are master manifestors, where we have that deep, intimate bond with Spirit, right? Where we are fearless and we push through, right? That's the reality, right? That's the reality. So this final card is diving for light. Look at that. 1111, letting us know that we got the power, right? We got the power. That doorway is wide open. Spirit has said, just step on through, send that frequency through, right? So here's the thing. When we're diving for light, if you are feeling like your life is void of light or it doesn't have that amount of light that you're choosing, if you feel like you're still striving for a certain level of light, it's time to go deep. It's time to go deeper, right? That was so funny. My computer just went kind of dark. I don't know if it happened on your end, but that never happens. But it's time to go deep. Okay, I'm gonna utilize Zen has been doing some really amazing posts with shadow work. Check her out. She's over on Instagram of Sacred Light. Okay, that's her Instagram name. Check her out. But anyways, right? It's time for us to go deep, right? It's time for us to start investing in ourselves. It's time for us to invest in our healing. And I tell you guys this every time. Yes, I'm a psychic life coach. And yes, I am accepting new applications into my mentorship. However, I may not be the one that's called to walk your journey with you, but someone is. Now, if I am the one, it's time for us to get started. And if somebody else is the one, it's time for you to get started, right? It's time to go deep. And the reason why we're being called to go deep, because deep is where all of our divinity is buried. Remember, we talked about those clothes, we talked about those feelings that get piled on top of each other and it gets buried. It's so buried, right, that it has been forgotten that it's even there. And then when we got a little inkling of what our divinity is like, Spirit is saying we still have no idea. So deeper, it's time to go deeper. It's time to go deeper, right? When we go deep, what's going to happen at that point, when we connect to that divinity, what's happening is that divinity is being pushed up from the bottom and is being pulled up from the top, right? So once we make that choice to go deep, to heal, to release, to surrender, right? Now our internal divinity is assisting, right? And spirit, the divine, is assisting. All that stuff being released feels so good. It feels so good, right? So good. So just allow it. Allow it to be released. Allow yourself to release it. Step out on faith, right? And like anything, always ask spirit, does it serve your highest good, right? Does it serve your highest good? I know if we work together, you're going to get what you came for, right? And more. However, if I'm not the one that's meant to serve you, it's not going to be a good match, right? So this is why you ask spirit, right? You ask spirit first, whether it's me or somebody else, you ask spirit. And then when spirit says it's a yes, you take action. You do it. You do it. I heard make it happen, Captain. So anything else? Okay, I'm told to pull from the bottom of the deck and then we'll get into the readings. Look, okay. Wait, that one too, or just this one? Okay, so Spirit said just this one. So look at that. And that was actually one of the cards that I took a picture for to send to the family member that I had the session with the other day. But it says, the perfection of your life, the perfection of your life. And as we look at this card, okay, so it's so funny because the message that came through for them, it's similar what's coming through. It's similar, but when we talk about that, that divinity that's within us, that perfection, right? That wholeness, that completeness. So if we look beneath the surface, right? We look beneath the surface, the perfection is there, the divinity is there. However, look at all this stuff that's growing on top of it, right? Look at all this stuff that's growing. So here's the world, and I'm hearing a whole new world. Like I'm hearing that song. But here's the thing that Spirit is saying. We have buried our divinity, our perfection for so long that there's a whole new existence that has began growing on top of it, right? On top of it. But it's that divinity within us that acts as fertilizer, right? But you could have a bag of fertilizer in your closet and not realize it's there, or it could be there and you could not utilize it. And then it's like you don't have fertilizer at all, right? To grow those plants, right? So Spirit is telling us it's time for us to tap into our internal fertilizer. And if we think what has been growing on top of our divinity, just imagine what's going to grow when we allow our divinity to just come out and shine and not just be in us, but on us, through us, right? Just imagine how things are going to grow. So that's the message. And I felt like there was something else coming through, but then it went away. So is it meant for me to share that? Okay. Spirit said, go ahead and give the faux message. So let's see what y'all are saying. Pat said, yes, Spirit is using us to help someone. I don't know if I read that part or not. I noticed that I have been reading Pat's messages twice today. So tell me what that's all about. Why? What? Okay, so you guys, I don't know what's going on, but it says some upgrades could be installed because Chrome did not quit. Okay, I don't know. I'll worry about that after. I'll fix it after. But for whatever reason, I'm just grateful that we didn't get knocked off. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. Well, I'm talking about we didn't get knocked off. I am going to look up 444 for my cell phone. And let's see. So Pat, you're first for the reading, and Deasia, you're second. So thank you both so much. Let's see, 444. angel number. Do you remember the time? That's what just came in when I said angel number. Okay, so I'm going to read this and then I'm going to also go into, it's too bright, Joanne Sacred Scribe. But it says, angel number 444 comes to you as a sign that your prayers have been answered and the universe encourages you to stay focused to finish the job. Angel number 444 represents that you may already have a strong connection with the angels and source, and you are on a path of spiritual awakening. And so it is. We can't make it up. Let's see what Joanne Sacred Scribes has for us. It says, number 4 resonates with the vibrations of the archangels, practicality and responsibility, productivity, illumination, and initiation, building solid foundations, stability and ability, honesty and inner wisdom, determination and endurance, hard work and progress. Number 4 also represents our passion and drive and encourages us to work harmoniously yet diligently to achieve our goals and aspirations. Number 4 is also the number that represents the 4 elements of air, fire, water, and earth, and the 4 sacred directions, north, south, east, and west. With 3 4s appearing, the influences and energies of the number 4 are magnified and enhanced. Angel number 444 asks that you pay attention to your intuition and inner wisdom, as your connection with your angels and the angelic realm is very strong at this time. You are encouraged to continue on your current path as your drive and determination will lead to success and fulfillment. Angel number 444 is a message that the angels and archangels are with you, encouraging and guiding you. They are offering you positive energies, inner strength, and support to enable you to get the work done that you require. They know and understand that you have been toiling diligently towards your goals and encourage you to continue on your current path to achieve the success and results you desire. Use your strong connection with the angelic realm to your benefit and be open to the promptings and messages. Listen to your intuition and follow its guidance. Angel number 444 is a message that you have nothing to fear in regards to your life, work, and divine life purpose. When you take positive action towards your highest intentions, aspirations, and goals, the universe works in your favor and helps you to establish solid foundations and advance you along your path. Know that the angels surround and support you, encouraging you to keep up the good work you have been doing. Angel number 444 brings a message that all is well. Trust that you are on your correct life path and are doing a great job. The angels and archangels are available for help and guidance. It says all you need do is ask, but all you require to do or all you get to do is ask. So angel number 444 breaks down to the number 3, which is a very powerful number in and of itself. If you feel led to look that up, by all means, please do. So I love how when we get those messages, and thank you, Pat, for putting that in the comments. But so can you guys hear me? Because nobody commented letting me know that you can. Can y'all still see me? Let me see. Thank you for putting that out there. But I love it when we have the angel numbers and we're called to look them up. I'm going to see, since I don't see a comment from you guys. And it's aligned with what the message is from Spirit. Okay, I am still. You guys can see me. Okay, so that was our message as a collective today. So I am going to go ahead and get into the mini reads. And I don't know if the chat's not working. Candidly, I don't know. I have not processed that yet, whether or not it's working, because I still don't see any comments. So I'm going to check to see if you all put it in the note section if you had a question or a general. Pat put in Power Hour. And Deja put for Wednesday reading. Okay, so. Okay, you guys, I'm about to do something. I am about to do whatever this is saying. If it disconnects me, I will get back on to finish the reading portion, okay? So let's see. Let me see. Chrome did not quit. Oh, they telling me to quit. No, we not gonna quit. Cancel. Maybe I pushed, I believe that's what it was. I believe I pushed Chrome by mistake, by accident. Okay. Pat, do you have a general or a question? Okay, there you guys go. It worked. Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It worked. Awesome. Wow, there was a lot coming in. That thing was paused for a minute. Awesome. Thank you. So let's see. Wow, I missed a lot, you guys. I just saw my mom's comment again. It makes me laugh every time. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Adrian. Adrian said, I'm so glad you've overcome. Michonne said, but it's a coworker and she has gratefully received the message now. Absolutely. That's what Spirit was saying, after that initial, right? And it processes. So absolutely. Michonne said that definitely resonates with me. I released that overthinking and anxiety. Yes. And I used to always say, overthinking, it's my blessing and my curse. It's like, girl, who you fooling? Overthinking ain't no blessing. It's not no blessing. Now, I will say, okay, let's just play the devil's advocate here. I will say this in the sense of me experiencing that and being able to relate to those that I serve that either are or have experienced that, there's the blessing, right? But at the time when I was saying it because I believe that my overthinking was things, it kept me safe in a lot of situations, right? But really it was Spirit keeping me safe. That overthinking just caused so much stress and headache and doubt. It was horrible. I'm so grateful it's gone. So grateful. Let's see, Pat said, yes, Spirit is getting us out of our comfort zones. Absolutely. Pat said, wow, she was afraid. Yeah. Hey, Daisy, Deasia. Let's see. Pat said, I sent Cashapp. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, Michonne said that's exactly what happened. Okay. Come through, Spirit. Pat said, yes, that really resonates. That makes so much sense. Hi, Paviel Hamilton. Welcome on board. Thank you for being here and joining our community of light workers and light warriors. Pat said, wow. So are we like guides for other people? That's a huge responsibility. And, I like to think of it as a gift, right? As a gift. You know why? Because when we think of it in terms of a huge responsibility, right? How does that feel? Right? How does that feel? It almost feels like work. It almost feels like if I don't do this, I could be letting someone down or moreover, Spirit or the collective, right? But when we look at it as a gift, a blessing, we get to show up in this existence. We get to heal and activate our divine gifts. And then we get to share them with other souls, assisting them with healing themselves, activating their gifts, and then they are able, and it just keeps going. And we're really contributing to the shift of the collective, bringing us back into love and peace and compassion and joy and abundance. That's a blessing. That's a gift. And it feels good. And I'm grateful to be here, able to do that. And I'm grateful that I said yes. And I'm grateful to the souls that said yes to receiving me. That's a gift. That's a blessing, right? So shifting our perspective can do wonders, right? Now that I see it as a blessing and as a gift, I'm motivated to do it, right? I'm excited to do it, right? I can't wait to do it. But if it feels like a responsibility, it can create fear, worry, doubt. Am I good enough? Am I this? Am I doing it right? All that stuff, right? So a shift in perspective, fine tuning is what I'm hearing. So let's see. Pat said, I see you slipped a song lyrics in there. Always, it's always coming in song. Pavi L said, it feels like more of a calling than a responsibility, like a life purpose. Yes, yes, yes. And again, see it as a gift, as a blessing. You know what I mean? Take it a step further and see it as what it is. And here's the other thing that comes through when we think in terms of you get what you give, right? No matter what it is, you get in return what you give the universe, whether that universe is a person, right? Whether it's a group, no matter what, you get what you give. So as we're showing up and we are agreeing to be used to assist in blessing someone else's life, guess what we get in return? We get blessed, because there is no greater feeling than watching someone transform, than watching someone heal, than seeing someone activating their divine gifts, surrendering, being confident and strong in who they truly are, and then going out and serving. That in and of itself is a blessing and a gift, right? That's a blessing and a gift. And all we're doing is showing through our example and reminding those we're called to serve what already exists within them. We are not healing anyone. We're healers because we heal ourselves, right? But the people that I work with, though some of y'all are on with me, I ain't heal you. I don't heal nobody, right? When I'm sending Reiki, I'm not healing. I'm channeling divine energy. That's not, you know what I'm saying? When I am working with you, I'm just reminding you of what's already there. I'm just helping you to get rid of the junk so you can access what's already there, right? So we don't heal anyone. We facilitate their ability to heal themselves, right? So, yep. Let's see. Deasia said, okay, thank you. Pat said, it feels like responsibility because it tells me there is a greater purpose involved. Well, see how it feels to cancel that responsibility and replace it with a blessing or a gift. See how different that feels, right? And what I'm receiving is, although like your conscious mind is like that responsibility, it's great, right? Your conscious mind is like, yes, let's take it on. But when we think in terms of words having vibrations and frequency, and our unconscious mind tends to process things a little bit different than our conscious mind. So when your unconscious mind hears responsibility, it feels like a task. It feels like work, right? It feels like something that must be done, as opposed to I have a choice. I get to, and it feels good. And we're speaking, or even when we are receiving information, right? It's important that we take that information and we filter it from that conscious state of receiving to that unconscious state of receiving, so that we can make sure the frequency that we're sending is of high vibe, and it empowers us to stay all the way up, you know? And then I was sing Cardi too. If it's up, then it's up, you know, but nah, all the way up. So let's see. Pavi L said, I feel you. Pat said, we've got the power. Does that make you feel like dancing? And we do. We've got the power. And through meditation, we're plugging in. We're recharging, right? We're like putting our plug in and charging up, powering up. Kame, kame, ah. You know, that's not really kame, kame, ah. If you have children that are around the ages of mine, then you guys are familiar. I can't remember if that's Dragon Ball Z or that other one, but it's one of them. My son used to power up like that when he would be upset at his older brother. My other son, he would do the power up. It's like, ooh, he's mad now. Okay, let's see. Oh, you are so welcome, Pat. So welcome. Pat said, okay, yes, blessings and gift feels so much better. Yeah, yeah. Pat said, yes, responsibility feels heavy. Pat said, I have a question about the coaching training and how to proceed. Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you for letting me know that. Michonne said, I'm grateful for it all. It is a blessing for me. Awesome. And so it is. Michonne said, yes, yes, yes. And Pat said, okay, that sounds like what I'm already doing, being of service to humanity. Yeah, it is. It is. And you know, here's the thing, even before we're consciously aware of our calling, we're born in that energy of being of service to humanity, of service to the collective. But here's the difference. a lot of us start off from a toxic place of giving and serving, right? There's no balance. We work our fingers to the bone. You know what I mean? Like we are people pleasing, right? And all of this is like that ego side of servitude, right? Or of service, right? It's that ego side of it. So until we release and we heal, only then do we release that part of serving and we step into serving that requires us to be selfish. Selfish is only me putting me first, right? And think about it. This came through before, but Spirit is saying, reiterate this. Say it loud for the people in the back. So when we think in terms of the word selfish, right? And when we think of how Christianity represents Christ as a fish, right? So when we're selfish, right, we ourselves are living in the state of Christ consciousness, right? And Christ consciousness teaches us self-preservation is first, right? And the perfect example is that airplane. What do they tell you? Put your mask on first. Now, society will teach you that, but everything else you're called to come second, third, fourth, fifth, last, or not even to be considered at all. Right? So we are called to be selfish and we're called to allow ourselves to embrace that. It doesn't mean we don't serve. It just means that I am not going to put your happiness before mine. I'm not going to cater to your peace before mine or at the expense of mine. Right? That's all selfish is. But like Malcolm said, who told you? Who taught you? Right? Who taught you that that was something that wasn't good? Right? So it's time for us to reprogram. First we reprogram, then we release the program altogether, and then we just embrace our divinity and we just allow ourselves to flow in that guidance of spirit, right? So, okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and get into the mini reads, and whether or not you're getting a mini reading is fine. I recommend you stay on either way because there will be a message that may resonate with you that is for someone else, but also there are times when Spirit guides me to do messages in between. We have 2 readings right now. If there's not anyone else that's getting a reading by the time I'm done with the second one, then I'll go ahead and end in Power Hour. But if there is, then we'll keep it going, okay? So Pat, you have a question about, okay, disconnecting from and connecting to Pat. So you have a question about the coaching training and how to proceed. I literally just heard proceed with caution. Why is that? Okay, so I heard because it's time for Pat to ask herself, is this really necessary? And necessary meaning, is it something you cannot receive from spirit? What we'd like for you to do is to get acclimated with not seeking outside sources to tell you how to answer your calling. We're calling for you to begin deeply connecting with spirit on everything and to trust in what you receive, when you receive it, how you receive it. And they just said, no diddy, no smack it up, flip it, rub it down, no remix. It's time for you to trust. There's also a deeper message here. The message is to understand that a no can be not right now. The message is to understand that there could be greater later. I'm laughing because I shared my thing earlier. What else? So what I heard was this is not the program, but there is one coming. In the meantime, start drafting based on what spirit gives you. You're being tested on your trust. And they said, and in testing, we mean you've got this. You've already passed. It's just a matter of you matching the frequency to you passing every challenge, every question, every test, everything that attempts to throw you off your divine destiny's path. You've already got this. You already know the answers. And then as they were saying that, I was receiving, but it felt like it was my thought. So they said, tell her, right? So I'm going to tell you, because what was coming in was, if you have to question it or ask, you already have your answer, right? You already have your answer, right? So when you allow yourself to be guided, and when you allow yourself to start to build with the confidence in knowing that through spirit, all things are possible, including what you're choosing to build now, is when spirit will bring those opportunities to you that serves your highest good. It's not to say that you're not going to receive anything, but what you receive is not going to be a balance, right? An even exchange of energy of the investment versus the return. Okay. So I was being told to tell you, the message came through earlier for us as a collective, but you are being called to begin having those conversations with spirit, right? So that you can be guided, like making it just a regular part of where do you go to seek guidance, right? And also I'm receiving a headache and feeling kind of lightheaded. It's not from the cleanse either. What I'm being told is to tell you to stop overthinking in that department, right? When you receive the answer, go for it, right? Just do it in all things, in all things. That running it over in your mind over and over, that questioning, is this the right message? Is this the accurate message? Is this really what I'm receiving? Or is this that will drive you? I heard crazy, but they said crazy, but what they're saying is it's a strong word. They don't mean in the literal sense, right? What they mean is crazy, as in drive you out of your blessings into a crazy feeling existence, as in when life feels like it's in a disarray or it's all over the place, right? Void of peace, or a lacking of peace, or a dwindling or a lessening of peace. So what they told me is, to answer your question, you will know when you know. Okay. Okay. So they like you to know what you're being called to do is to start the process of existing like it was just you and spirit in this world. How would you figure out what to do? It's just you and spirit. How would you figure out what to do? Right? And this is coming through as an assignment for you, right? This is why a no in this case means not right now, right? And they're also saying also not this particular one, right? But this exercise is being used to build your faith and your connection. So think about your business, right? And what you're choosing to do, how you're choosing to shift it, what you're choosing to receive, give, and accomplish, right? And then act like it's just you and spirit. See your business as a key component to you surviving, thriving, and living, right? And enjoying that life. Like it's just you and spirit. And then go from there. And when you choose to do that, set the intention that when the time comes where you have, I heard both learned this lesson and mastered this assignment, set the intention that spirit will guide you into knowing who will come in to serve you. I'm hearing in and on that level that you're referring to now. What's also coming through is because it's important to not be dependent, right, on any outside source. It's one thing if an outside source is assisting, right? But assisting is I'm already doing it, right? So let's take our healing journey, for example. Our healing begins the moment we choose to heal, right? So with us working together, you already started your healing without working with me, right? You already started that the moment you chose to heal, right? If you hadn't, we couldn't work together, right? Because you would be dependent on me or whomever. So what spirit is showing is for you to create that level of independence with spirit, I'm hearing as your backbone, as your spine, and they're bringing in the Kundalini reference, the awakening, the Kundalini awakening. This is just allowing you deeper access to the divine, deeper access to source, deeper access to divine wisdom. I'm also hearing the Akashic records. So you may choose to look into the Akashic records, whatever looking into that you've already done, if any. I'm feeling it's been minimal, but it's time to really look into that. They're not telling me what you're going to receive, but they're just saying for you to look into that. Anything else? Bottom or middle? Okay. So they just told me, okay. They just told me to pull from the bottom of the deck. And look, the same card is on there. Collaborate, collaborative dreaming. So what I'm being told to tell you is you are being called to collaborate with the divine first. And also you may notice that you receive messages also in the dream state. Also, what I'm being told to tell you is to open yourself up to receiving those messages in your waking state as well, and setting the intention that when you receive it, you're going to know without shadow of doubt that it is from spirit. And spirit said to tell you, yes, it is that simple. You simply set the intention, you claim it with the belief that it's already done, and then you just get out of the way, right? Get out of the way. 28 is 10. I'm being told to tell you to look up the number 28 and the number 10, even if you have before. Look it up and do some heart chakra healing, right? Do some heart chakra healing, because in order for you to fully get in that state of trusting, fully trusting in all things, right? There's some heart healing, and it's from this lifetime, but it's also from past lifetime. And when we have a broken heart, right, or when our trust has been taken advantage of, sometimes it makes it very difficult to trust. And we may register that as human beings, but in reality, it makes it difficult to trust beings, right? Beings as in spiritual beings, right? Angels, guides, ancestors, and also makes it difficult to trust being, right? You simply being, right? So doing that heart chakra healing is really going to help assist you with that trust factor, And I'm receiving, it's not going to be long. Like, it's not going to be long and drawn out. But when you do this, you're going to receive some really powerful stuff that's going to elevate your belief and trust. And then that way, when you are in whatever program you're guided to as it relates to life coaching, you're going to then, right? You're going to then be able to receive the information, trust the information, and allow the information to work for you and with you. What I'm receiving is there's still some combative energy, right? That certain things will be rejected. So this is not just an assignment to make you deeper connected, but it's also an assignment to elevate you and get you ready and prepared so that when you do step into that program, you're fully open and able to receive. Some things will not be for you and they won't apply, but it won't be a rejection from an ego standpoint. It'll be like, oh, this just doesn't apply, right? It just doesn't apply. There's a difference. Anything else? So that is your message, Pat. Messages. You see how my words are all over the place. That's my message, Pat. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. Let me know how it resonates, and I send you with love, light, peace, abundance. And you got this. You got this. So let's see. Oh, you've been leaving messages already. So let's see. Pat said, yes, beautiful. Wow. Yes, I kind of sensed this already, but I chose more clarity. Pat said, yes, overthinking has had me running around in circles. Yeah, yeah. And I know that feeling. Like, I'm saying, yeah, because I know exactly the feeling. It will have you where you just can't trust nothing. You're like, okay, I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's spirit. I don't know if it's I don't know what this is. So therefore, I'm just gonna sit on my laurels because I'm confused, right? So that's where that immediate action, not giving those. I'm hearing those obsessive. As I was gonna say, overthinking. I heard obsessive. Not giving those obsessive thoughts an opportunity to put you in that cycle of overthinking. Pat said. Wow, interesting. Okay, this really resonates with me. Spirit was telling me weeks ago to have an intimate relationship with the divine. Yes, yes, yes. Pat said, yes, I have started doing guided heart chakra meditations. Awesome. Pat said, beautiful. Thank you, sis. You are so welcome. So welcome. And you know, it's funny that you say that because I had seen a TikTok. I don't even know whose account it was, but she was like, somebody said, if you so spiritual, then why you read the Bible? And she said, the Bible is like the biggest and best book of spells. And she went on to share a specific Bible verse, right? And I wasn't led to necessarily take that verse per se, but I have on my altar, I have my mom gave me what I always thought was my grandmother's Bible, but it was actually my grandmother's mother's Bible. And that Bible was covered with plastic because that was the last page that my great grandmother had read. And I remember I used to always love calling psychics. And I still do invest in psychics because I love it. I just do, right? I do. You know, I can get the message. I love it. So anyways, this was years ago. And she said to get your Bible. And she said, and your grandmother knows you're not religious. She had already established it was my grandmother coming in. But she said, get your Bible and flip to whatever page. And that's your message from your grandmother. And of course, I was hesitant at the time because I would be disturbing the plastic, right? But I did it. And the message was, I am preparing a feast of meal for my son. And at first I was like, really? That's the message? I was like expecting something else. But then it hit me. My grandmother was letting me know that she was with her oldest son, who transitioned at 8 months from pneumonia. And so I shared that message with my mom. So Spirit was allowing me to understand the message. My grandmother was saying that now she was with her oldest son. Like, we had plenty of time with her when she was here in this realm, and now it's their time together. And my grandmother used to always make cornbread from scratch. So of course, meal, you know. So yeah. So I'm sharing this to say, after I saw that TikTok, I received the message from Spirit to just start reading that Bible, because I'd already received the message to start reading the Bible again. Back when I was younger, I knew as much as anybody about the Bible, right? When I was in the nation, I knew the Bible inside out because there were a lot of debates with folks. But once I embraced spirituality and realized I could connect with Spirit, there's certain things I just forgot. But what Spirit is having me do is to begin reading it and looking at it through the connection, and to allow Spirit to give me the information that I'm being led to receive, right? So that I could share it and have it for self. So, yeah, that's just all coming through as a result of you sharing about having a deeper connection with Spirit. And why did you have me share the Bible thing? Well, number one, what's coming through is because sometimes we feel like I'm choosing not to disrupt the peace, or I'm choosing not to disrupt the perfection, or I'm choosing not to disrupt something else, right? So as it pertains to me, not having this Bible as a shrine, but as something that is actually a gift from my ancestors that have now crossed over, it is holding more power than if I were to go and buy a Bible, right? There's more power there. So sometimes when we're choosing not to disrupt things or keeping things in its pristine shape or condition, what we're doing is we're actually robbing ourselves from all the power that's in store for us, right? That's in store. Also, it's referring to how sometimes we have that thought of waiting, saving, right? Saving things. Spirit is saying the only time we have is now. The only time we have is now. So stop waiting. Stop saving things, right? I heard even money, right? Even money. Sometimes I share with y'all how my ex was so like, he was on another level. He was on another level where we had the money to pay for something, and he'd rather pay an extra fee to not pay the money all at once, even though we had it, and he'd put it on layaway, right? Right? So what Spirit is telling us when we think in terms of saving versus investing, right? That's the concept. Sometimes we're like, I'm saving, that we don't invest. And when we invest, we then get a return on our investment that is greater than what we invested, right? So this isn't just referring to money. This is also referring to other aspects of life, right? But money is an energy. So it's referring to all energetic aspects of our life. Some of us can be, what's that? Tell me the word, because I can feel it, but what's the word? I'm just hearing obsessive. Some of us can be obsessed with saving for a rainy day, for, you know what I mean? So Spirit is saying, release that over obsessive concept of saving things and energy, and start to see it more as investing. And when we invest, what do? We receive a return on our investment even greater than what we invested, right? And I'm hearing if we're smart about it, which is referring to us being guided by spirit, right? So that's what I'm receiving. So I'm going to connect to Deasia's energy, and let me see what you all are saying before I do that. So my mom said, yes, I can hear and see you. Momo, are you talking to Momo or me? Pat said, that's beautiful. Could be because of the scripture spirit keeps giving me about your maker is your husband. Ooh, you know what I just got? Your divine partner. Your maker is your divine partner. What is a husband? It's our divine partner, right? So explore that. I heard until you find the one, right? The way you would consult your partner, your husband, right? The way you would run things by your husband when you're in a healthy union, right? It's the same way you're being called to connect with your divine spirit team. So awesome sauce. I'm being called to be intimate and marry spirit. Oh, there you go. There you go. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that is the message. See, y'all, I told you we always get a message for us as a collective in between the readings. So, oh, look, you guys, we have 6 people on with 6 thumbs up. So we are mirroring. So Pat said, yes, exactly. So Deasia, did you have a question or would you like a general reading? Who all is on today? Let me know if you're still on. Just let me know. Say something in the comment, even if you put a little dot or a thumbs up or a heart or whatever you feel led to do. Just let me know who's with us right now. Okay, awesome. Spirit, what do you have for Deasia? Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna okay, so this right here, this card was just sitting up looking at me, and this was a card that I got yesterday, and Spirit said to pick it up, and it's Heaven Sent, and it has 33, and we know that's our archangels letting us know they're there, right? Heaven Sent. So hey, Shamika, hey, Jalessa. Hey, you guys. Thank you for letting me know that you're on. If you're still on, let me know. Just leave it in the comments. You're going to be glad you did because there's something coming for you all afterwards once I see everybody who's on. Okay, so what is this message for Deasia, the Heaven Sent? What's the message there? So number 1, I'm receiving that you are heaven sent, right? So you have been directly, and I'm seeing the stork. Think of how back in the day, folks used to tell their children babies were born. So I'm seeing a stork, right? A stork that's so magical. It's a combination between a stork with peacock feathers. You may look up the representation of peacock feathers. I see a duck's beak, right? That goes into the stork. Like this, just this magical, mythical creature, right? And I see this little bundle of joy, right? This pretty bundle of joy, just really beautiful chocolate skin, really beautiful hair, head full of hair in this little thing like the stork carries. Coming from the cosmos, coming from the heavens, being dropped off here on earth, right? Being dropped off here on earth. So Spirit is reminding you that you are heaven sent. You are a blessing. You are a gift. And it's time for you to start holding those shoulders back, hold that head high, not in a snooty way, not in a cocky, arrogant way, but just as a matter of fact, I am so sure that I am divine energy incarnated here on earth, right? That I am here with a divine purpose and a divine calling, and I have chosen to answer. Right? So Spirit is telling you, keep working on that confidence, right? Keep working on that transparency. Keep working on allowing others in. So this is coming through as the soul family, allowing us to hold space for you and other members that aren't necessarily in our soul family, but you have extensions of soul families, right? Allowing us all to hold space for you. Also, what it's saying is, I'm being told to tell you it's time for you to do some spine clearing, right? Some clearing of the spine. Don't push a Kundalini awakening. That's something that happens naturally and on its own. But you're holding past frequencies in your spine. And some of those past frequencies have become solid energy. And so it's creating blocks. It's creating blocks for you. It's creating a feeling of heaviness, a feeling of unworthiness, right? But also, what that transparency message is also bringing to you is allowing those you serve to see you. And I feel this came through for you before, right? Just showing up as you are, not editing, not double checking. As a matter of fact, I know it came up before, but Spirit is saying, say it again. I just heard, say it again, Sam. Okay. See, I'm thinking Sam. I ain't Sam. I was joking with them knowing I'm not Sam and they not referring to me as Sam. But the reason why that came through is because when you think of Uncle Sam, I want you, think of that, right? Think of that. So they're bringing forth that they are saying, I want you to be who you really are, right? And I'm saying it how we know in this realm, want is lack, but this is how they saying it. I want you to remember who you are. I want you to show up as your true self. I want you to choose you. I want you to choose your divinity, right? Right? I want you, the real you. Who are you on a soul level? And how has your soul agreed to show up in this lifetime, right? You're done playing small. You're done pretending to believe that you're less than. And they're saying, yeah, you're pretending. You're pretending. And it's time for you to acknowledge that I've been pretending so I can learn, right? I've been pretending so I can grow, right? I've been pretending so I can elevate and ascend higher, right? And they're telling me to share this example with you. So oftentimes, like wherever I go, whatever the environment, I always go into it with the intention to learn something. So when I still lived in Washington State, you guys know, some of you may not, but I had a spiritual happy hour. I hosted that once a month, right? And there were people that were in the mentorship that were local that would come, and people that weren't in the mentorship that would come. But one particular person that was in the mentorship, I invited them to an event I went to from my mentor. And she was kind of shocked because of how I was in that environment, right? And so that is how I pour into my soul. So what they're doing now is they're crossing messages, because the other message they put in the back and this one's coming forth. So just follow me. There's even a message in that. So we're going to get it all. Just make sure you deliver it. Okay. So what that's saying is it's important for light workers, light warriors, servants of the light to also pour into themselves, right? That's important. That's where that seemingly was going off track. But that message, they said, is priority. Also, when I go into situations, I always go into it with the intention to learn something. However, a lot of times, more often than not, since I have chosen to heal and to embrace spirit fully, a lot of times I go into those environments and I'm not receiving anything new or any information that I haven't already received from spirit, right? So what I do is I pretend. If I'm not called to share something, or if I'm not called to shine, I pretend. Here's an example, specific example. I went to this event here in Tennessee. I got a reading because, again, I love getting readings. And I pretend to not be who I am because I like to see what they know. I like to hear what they know. And sometimes a person can see who you are and they can be intimidated by your light, right? So I just pretend, right? I shift my frequency in a way that feels different, right? We have this power. So Spirit is saying, the way I do that, that's what you do in life. Like you pretend to not know. You pretend to not love you. You pretend to not accept you. You pretend to not be deeply connected to the divine. And you've been pretending so long that you started to believe it, right? You started to believe it. So stop pretending. Stop pretending. I stop pretending when Spirit tells me to. Sometimes it serves my highest good to just lessen the volume on me, right? And some of us may also know what I'm talking about because you may receive the same. But when Spirit says, turn it up. Guess what we do? We turn it up, right? So even in that pretending stage, you've also been preparing because your light is so brilliant, it's so bright, it's so strong, it's so magnificent that if you hadn't mastered the art of pretending, sometimes that light can be too overwhelming, right? It can be too overwhelming. So in order for you to show up and serve fully, you had to master that art. But Spirit is saying you've mastered it. Now it's time to wake up, time to remember, time to be you, right? Who you really are, right? Who you really are. So you're going to encounter people that you serve that have been pretending, and you're their wake up call to stop pretending. You're their teacher that helps them remember how to exist outside of the pretending, right? The self-confidence, self-worth. This is along the lines of your calling. So it's time for you to get to work. You've been spending too much time in mental conflict because your soul is ready to stop pretending, but you haven't consciously realized, I'm pretending, right? Keep on moving, don't stop. Keep on moving. That song is playing now. Keep on moving, don't stop. And even when you're caught up in that state of pretending, what Spirit is saying is keep going, right? Don't stop. Just pause. When it's necessary, just pause. Catch your breath. You know how when people are jogging outside and you'll see them at the light and they don't stop. They standing still jogging, right? That's what the pause is like. You're standing still jogging, but you're still moving, right? You're still moving, right? And that still moving is you still allowing Spirit to guide you and work through you. That also connects to that moving through in spite of. So let's say today, right? Let's say today you look in the mirror, you're not too happy at what you see. Sometimes you may feel like, well, you know what? I'm just not too happy with what I see. So how am I finna get on YouTube and start talking to people about being happy about what they see? Spirit is saying that's where you keep moving, right? Because oftentimes messages that you're called to deliver to others will be delivered to you through you. Remember, we're one of our biggest guides, right? Okay. So there was a couple of things that came through at the same time. So just, one at a time. You also, they're telling me something about your eating. So there's two messages with your eating. Number one, they are saying to eat healthier. And number two, they're saying allow yourself to eat junk when you feel like eating junk. And at first that felt really contradictory, but as I say it out loud, that's something that I noticed when the message come in. And I'm sharing this because Spirit is saying this may serve someone that experiences this. When it gets delivered, sometimes it's just like, what? But as soon as I speak it, the clarity comes, right? So whoever that's for. Spirit just said, share that. So anyways, what that's saying is sometimes you even overthink your food choices, right? You spend too much time thinking about what you're going to eat, how you're going to eat. And in this society cycle of what health means or how it must happen to maintain health or a certain appearance, right? It's very toxic and unhealthy. But then when you're feeling like something that may not be on the end of healthier eating, you deprive yourself, right? So what Spirit is saying is eat healthier. And now as I'm saying that, eating healthier does include allowing yourself to have the things that you crave. Now we've had this conversation before somewhere on a video that it's important to eat what we crave because our body is what? Our biggest guide and all knowing. So if your body's craving something, there's something in it that your body requires. So Spirit is just saying, create that balance, right? Create that balance, be that balance. And the way you do that is to stop pretending and understanding that you're that precious little baby, that magical, mythical creature brought down like a stork and dropped off on earth to bless us, right? To bless us. So when you accept that, then you understand that everything you're feeling, everything you're feeling led to, everything you're craving, it's all divine. It's all divine. Okay. I just asked anything else. I said, nope, that's it. So that is your message, Deasia. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Please let me know how it resonated. Hey, Lacey, how are you? Okay, let's see. Before I disconnect, what is this? Your reading was surprisingly draining. And I haven't been drained from doing a reading in a very long time. So this is not me. This is connected to you. So let me just connect and see what that is. What is that? It's time for you to start protecting your energy more, making sure you're disconnecting when you're serving. Also, again, that eating healthier is going to contribute to this too. Also, the overthinking is draining you. And by draining you, it's lowering your vibration. It is taking you out of your element of serving. So, what you're being called to do is exercise your right to hold your head high, hold your shoulders back, and fully embrace the divine being that you are, despite what people attempt to make you believe. Spirit is saying, you know the truth. You know what's up. You know the deal, right? And then they just said, real deal, Holyfield. They said, but vicious like Tyson in the best way. And so what they mean by that is Tyson was a winner. Tyson was a champ, right? By any means necessary. But he also has skill and talent to back it up. Maybe a little ticky ticky boom at times, but can't deny the talent. So what Spirit is saying is your by any means necessary is not accepting the things, right? The thoughts, the beliefs that society has forced on you. By any means necessary, I am choosing to shine. You can add that to a daily declaration. By any means necessary. And by any means, make it clear, means that are of the divine, means that are of the highest light love, means that are aligned with who you are as a divine being, right? So all that from that. Now I feel fine. So they were like, wait, we told you we were done, but hold on. So, okay. Now anything else? They said, no, we're done for real. Okay, great. Hey, Zen. So you guys, Zen Pocky is on here. That is what I was referring to when I said of Sacred Light over on IG. So go ahead and head over and do that follow. Okay, so let's see. Shamika said, just came on, sending love and light. Awesome. If you feel led to watch the replay, Shamika, by all means, please do. Love you too, Pat. My mom said, when you said we got the power, I started dancing in the kitchen. I felt like dancing too. Deasia said, my lower back has been in pain lately. It explains it. Those are the blocks that Spirit is saying you're holding it in your spine, and they have energetically solidified. So, and again, when we use that terminology, energetically solidified, right? What is also saying is that by you not clearing that and embracing your divinity, what's happening is you are solidifying those false beliefs in your mental as well. So clearing those blocks in your spine energetically will help to clear mentally and will help with shifting your vibration and shifting your reality. So Deasia said, I do overthink my next meal. Yeah, let that go. Just be guided. You know, I had shared this with you all before about going to the grocery store and going to the produce section, selecting something that is organic, and then selecting the same thing that's not organic. Now, this time is coming through a little bit different, right? This time, what I'd like you to do specifically, Deasia, is I'd like you to hold those two items in your hand. I'd like you to close your eyes. This also is going to step outside of your comfort zone because you're going to be in the grocery store produce section holding an organic produce and a non-organic produce, and you are going to have your eyes closed, deep breathing. Which serves my highest good to ingest? And then you're going to feel, right? You're going to pay attention to what you feel, right? And you're going to know which one to get, which one serves your highest good, right? And just that particular day, do that with everything that you're getting. Now, it may not be the organic versus not, right? It may just be an item, right? Okay, does it serve my highest good to purchase this today? And then feel the frequency of that item, right? Connect to it. And then you'll know, right? So do that. Practice doing that maybe a couple of times when you go to the store, right? Practice doing that so you get in the habit of allowing even your food to speak to you. Everything is a big old messenger. Everything, if we allow it, right? So by you allowing yourself to be intuitively led on how to eat will ensure that, number one, you're getting the proper nutrients. Number two, you're able to release the overthinking, right? And you're able to not only allow food to feed your soul, right? To feed your soul, to feed your body, but you're also allowing it to have a part and a role to play in elevating your frequency. And simply by releasing the overthinking is going to give it an automatic boost, right? So DA just said, oh wow, I'm going to be lighting protection candles soon. I know the draining feeling you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. And make sure after, even, I've shared this with you guys when we're in group session too, like disconnecting from the energy, because when we're on group session together, even if you don't deliver a message, you're holding space. So you're connecting to the rest of the soul family energetically. So it's important to make sure you disconnect that energy, right? Disconnect from that energy. So Spirit is saying when you're doing readings or when you're delivering messages, disconnect. And delivering messages doesn't just refer to a reading. It can refer to how we were talking about earlier, receiving a message for someone and then delivering it. So to receive that message for them, there's an instant connection to their energy, right? So disconnecting from their energy after you receive it and then after you deliver it. Unless you deliver it as soon as you receive it, then it would just be after you deliver it. Zen said, I do that with my food whenever I grocery shop. Awesome. Yes, yes, yes. And how different has your relationship with food become since before then? If you feel led to share, let us know. Daisy said, that's a good idea. I already feel it in my hand and it's in my highest good to purchase. Yes, awesome. And you know what's so funny? When I got my first deck, right? Out of nowhere, I was led to buy a deck of cards. And when I got that first deck, I went to the crystal shop in Washington State, and I was like, two decks I was really drawn to, but I was choosing to only buy one because remember at this time, I don't know why. I'm just being guided, so I'm gonna get it. I didn't anticipate doing readings. So what I did was I treated it like a crystal, and I held each one in my hand, just like what just came through for you. And the deck where I felt that high vibrational frequency, it literally felt like it was vibrating in my hand. I was like, well, that's the deck for me. How you feel it, it's going to be just as different as how we each receive on which crystals to buy, right? But you will receive it. You'll know. So you're so welcome. Thank you. So for those of you that let me know that you were still on, and obviously I know that Deja, I know you're on, but for those of you that are still on, I'd like you to just take a moment to close your eyes and take some slow, deep breaths. And I'm just going to send you some healing energy right now. Some really powerful healing energy, calling on Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. I'm also calling on Ganesh, and I'm calling on Goddess Lakshmi, and I'm just calling on all of your highest light and love guides and beings to join us and assist us today with sending this healing, and calling on my highest light and love divine beings and assistants to assist with this healing today. So I'm just claiming healing. I'm claiming healing. I'm claiming that breaking up of stagnant energy wherever is existing, whether it's in your heart chakra, your root, your spine, your solar plexus, your sacral, your throat, your third eye, your ears, your crown. I'm calling on deeper connection to the divine for you. I'm calling on highest level of trust. I'm calling on highest level of surrender. I'm calling on messages that are rooted in highest light, love, and truth with clarity of knowing that it's the divine speaking when it is the divine. I'm calling on you knowing the difference between ego and between the divine speaking to you. I'm calling on you to have increased unwavering faith. I'm calling on you to trust yourself and to love yourself with unconditional love and acceptance. I'm calling on you to see the value of you. I'm calling on you to allow yourself permission to live unapologetically, out loud, and on purpose. I'm calling on you to grow, elevate, and ascend. I'm calling on you to allow yourself to be guided into your true destiny, remembering who you are on a soul level. I'm calling to activate the parts of you that are buried, that are hidden, that serve your highest good in the now to activate. I'm calling on our divine guides, our divine angels, our divine ancestors, helpful companions, all of highest light and love to assist you with whatever you are choosing to overcome. I'm calling on them now to heal you, to heal your heart, to heal your soul, to heal your spirit. I'm calling on you to embrace your inner divinity fully, fully. I'm calling on you to be able to push through any human hangups, allowing yourself to fully embrace and receive abundance. I'm calling on the assistance of all of our highest light and guides, love beings to just assist you with all those blessings that your heart is craving, for you to know that you're worthy. You are so worthy. You are so worthy. You are so worthy. You are so divine. You are the divine incarnated. I'm calling on you to really see, feel, and exist in the true reality of abundance and to release this falsehood that you've been taught. I'm calling on all of your guides to protect you, to surround you, and for you to know that there is nothing outside of your reach. There is nothing outside of your reach. There is nothing that you cannot have. There is nothing you cannot have. You are worthy, you are deserving, you are protected, you are guided. Now is your time. Be present in the now and just allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to receive. Feeling that divine energy pouring in through your crown and just feeling it disperse throughout your entire cellular being. Connecting to the frequency of infinite abundance, connecting to the frequency of infinite love, connecting to the frequency of infinite light. Just allow yourself to be one with spirit, to be one with the universe, and to be one with who you truly are. Your highest self and your present self merging into one, and so it is. So, how did that feel? Let me know. And there's no one else that asked for a reading. So after y'all tell me how you guys are feeling, we're gonna wrap up Empower Hour. It's 7:27 here. So while I'm allowing you guys to pour in the comments of how you're feeling after that, what I am going to do is get to the message 727 and tell you what that is. And then we will part our ways until next time. So let's see. 727. Angel number 727 is a blend of the attributes of number 7 and vibrations of number 2, with number 7 appearing twice, amplifying its influences. The mystical number 7 is the number of feelings and emotions, spiritual awakening and development, persistence of purpose and determination, discernment and positive intentions, introspection and inner wisdom, empathic and psychic abilities, higher learning and research. Number 2 is associated with balance, harmony, duality, peace, adaptability, diplomacy, receptivity, and love, charm, understanding, meditation and cooperation, consideration, faith, and trust, your life purpose, support, and encouragement. Angel number 727 is an indication that positive news will enter your life in the very near future, and that part is highlighted. It's literally highlighted in yellow. This may be something that you've been waiting to hear for some time now. Take this new information and use it to your advantage and for the benefit of others. Angel number 727 is also an important message from the angels to get on with living your personal truths. You are being encouraged to serve your life purpose and soul mission with passion and persistence, knowing within that you are on your right life path. The angels encourage you to continue on your current path. Angel number 727 is a message to continue listening to your inner wisdom and the guidance from the angels regarding the next steps along your spiritual path. Be still, listen to your higher self, and pay attention to the revelations you receive intuitively. Look out for signs, synchronicities, and omens, and take note of your gut feelings or inner knowing. Maintain a positive attitude and outlook, and know that you are well blessed by the angelic and spiritual realms. And angel, oh, that's so amazing. Angel number 727 breaks down to angel number 7. So look at spirit coming through with the come through. So you may feel led to look up angel number 7 as well. So let's see. Lacey Dawn said, "Hi, I'm really good. Thank you. I've been missing you. I'm glad I could catch part of this. I'll have to watch the replay. Thank you so much for joining, Lacey. I've been missing your energy. And I just heard, how are you doing with releasing? But that is for you to contemplate on, right? How are you doing with releasing? How are you doing with releasing? So yes, thank you for being here. Thank you. Deasia said, very refreshing. Awesome. Awesome. I'm so grateful that that recharge was able to penetrate. My mom said, love you, darling daughter. I love you too, darling mother. So yes, yes, yes. Well, that is and let me just check because sometimes, so you guys, here's the thing. When y'all hear me say I'm wrapping up, because this has happened before, sometimes someone will be like, okay, I'm going to get a reading. And then you guys will go pay for it. And then because you didn't tell me first, after I say, okay, after this, I'm wrapping up, I'll log off. So if that's ever the case where we're logging off, and if you're headed to go pay, let me know so I don't log off, okay? But that is the end of our Empower Hour. You guys remember, it's every first Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Invite at least 3 people to join us next time. And if this video resonated with you, or any video resonates that I post, please do me a huge favor. Help me get the messages out. Go ahead and take this video, share it. Share it on your social media platform, share it in your email contacts, your phone, whatever spirit guides you to do, but share it and invite them to come and join the party, invite them to subscribe and to join us for next Empower Hour, okay? So I thank you so much for allowing me to serve you, and I leave you with peace, love, bliss, and abundance, and also gratitude. Gratitude for sharing your energy with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day.